know you guys don't get to see them, but my dogs are literally laying on the bed watching me film, and it's the cutest thing ever. They're just so cute. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. Today's video is going to be a chopping block video. So we're going to talk about some makeup products that are in my collection, but then I'm kind of questioning whether or not they should be in my collection. I'm kind of considering whether or not I should declutter these products, and I wanted to share with you guys kind of my thought process as to why each one of these has landed a spot on my list. Let's start out with this product I feel like I keep going back and forth with. This is the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. You guys, I just honestly bought the wrong shade of this, so I feel like I can't judge it fairly, but this is, like I said, a serum foundation. It's supposed to be kind of like a light to medium sort of coverage, I believe. I really love the packaging of it, and I really am a fan of the brand and how they kind of market themselves in general. So, you know, it's not against like anything with the brand or the actual product. It's mostly just the shade, and that's my own fault. If you haven't heard me mention it before, I bought this during the Sephora sale, and when I purchased it, they were sold out of the shade that I probably should have gotten, but it was in the same like shade range. It was just a different undertone. So this was the more like yellow undertone, I believe, and I thought it would be okay because it didn't look like that different from the cool tone one, but honestly, I really needed the cool tone one. Honestly, I probably should have just waited until my shade came back in stock and paid full price for it, because this one is just way too yellow for me. I do really have their serum on my wish list. It's a skincare product. I'll probably end up picking it up when I finish the hydrating serum that's in my collection, but when I do that, I'm gonna have to order it from their website in general. So they actually are selling sample sizes right now. I think they're about $4. They probably have like a good amount of use in them. They don't look that small. But what I'll do is I'll order the sample in my actual shade that I should have gotten from the first place, and then try it like that, and maybe then I can decide. But specifically talking about the one that's in my collection right now, I just don't know if I want to keep this. I have one more foundation on this list, so let's go ahead and talk about it. This one, however, I do think is going to stay in my collection, but we'll see. This is the Rare Beauty Foundation. I have it in the shade 140C. If you're wondering, I have the LYS one in the shade LG1. I don't remember off the top of my head what the one is that I think I need is called, so I'll put that on the screen right here. But yeah, I have this one in LG1, and then I have the Rare Beauty one in the shade 140C. This is a perfect shade match for me. I think it's like one of the closest ones in my collection. This formula, for some reason, I just don't reach for it as much. I think what it boils down to is that between this, comparing it to my favorites, let's take the Purito BB cream and the Colourpop Pretty Fresh as like my examples here. I look at those and I look at this, and the obvious difference for me at least is that those are like a more creamy texture. This one is more of like an oily kind of texture. If you guys have used it or swatched it, you probably know what I'm talking about. You also have to shake this one pretty well before you use it. So for this foundation, you need like that much for your whole face. It spreads out really nicely, and it always looks really good on my skin. Well, I shouldn't say always, because I went through like a few months there where it wasn't looking good, but lately it has been looking really nice on my skin. Yeah, it just feels like an oil or like a greasy kind of consistency, but then it dries down to be, I would say, like a soft matte kind of natural finish. But I don't know, like it just, now again, it's not blending out to be like true to color because I had other stuff on my hand, but I just don't reach for this product. And so I feel like I just need to reach for it and use it more to justify keeping it in my collection. But also I'm trying to figure out, is the reason that I don't reach for it because I don't like it nearly as much as my other ones, or is it just because it's like a slept on formula in my collection? I'm not sure. So that's why it's on this list, because I feel like I just need to get more use out of it. I've also had it for quite a while, and that's as much as I've used up. Maybe a slightly more than this right now, but not enough. So I definitely want to use this more, kind of get more feelings about it, more thoughts about it, and see if it's worth staying in my collection or not. And the last complexion product, this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I think this is fine. I'm dropping it. I think this is fine, but it's just kind of like meh. And the weird thing is, I look at it, I'm like, I've used over half of it. The line looks like it's here, but it's actually right here. So I've used up a lot of this concealer, but I don't know how. I feel like I don't ever use it, but clearly I do. But it's a very light color. So this is actually the concealer that I reach for, especially when I have like a really smoky sort of look or something where I want the concealer to be a little bit brighter underneath my eyes. I'll reach for this. I don't know. Like, I think it's fine. But again, I'm just kind of like, why do I have this? I don't know. I need to use it more again and see if it's worth keeping in my collection or not, because if I don't love it, why do I have it? Or else I need to use it up, one or the other. But this is just something that, I don't know, I want to like it and I don't love it. I mean, I know that it looks like I probably do because I've used up a ton of it, but truly, I just kind of use it because I have it. Oh, I'm so tired of talking about this product. And I feel like by saying that, I kind of know like what I'm gonna do with it, meaning I'm probably not gonna keep it in my collection. Okay. I feel like not everyone feels like this, but for me personally, I don't know. When I purchase a product, I want to like multiple aspects of the product, and the brand is included in that. So if I have a weird taste in my mouth about a brand, it's just hard for me to like the product sometimes. And that's kind of what's happened with this one. So if you haven't heard me talk about this, I'm going to link the video. I'm linking a lot of videos in this video, but I don't want to like just continually be negative on my channel and keep talking about what I've already said. So if you're interested to know a little bit more about the situation, I really went into detail about it on a video that was like what I think about brands. But basically, I just don't really like the way that Thrive handles their messaging. I feel like they're a little bit shady. I feel as though they were just like wanting to pat themselves on the back. They were wanting me to tell them how amazing they are and just like hype them up. And it honestly kind of felt like they were trying to get me to essentially give them a review on this product without noticing that I was doing it so that they could, I don't know, like put it on their website or something. I don't know. It was just super weird. Again, I literally read you guys like the DMs that they've sent me in that video because I just think it should be known. If you guys are anything like me and that would matter to you in supporting a brand, basically what I'm trying to get at is that especially in brands similar to Thrive Cosmetics where there's like a single owner and they have like this whole kind of team that's supposed to be like really uplifting, I want to support those brands, but when they kind of repeatedly do something that just like drives me insane, I just don't want to support them. Now that that's kind of happening, I don't ever want to reach for this. Like every time I look at it, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I feel so mean for saying that, you guys. What I'm getting at is that I have a weird taste in my mouth about the brand, not really reaching for this product a lot at all. Just not really sure. Like, it's pretty, but also kind of considering like, can I find it somewhere else and get it from a brand that I actually like? I don't know. I really like to support small brands and indie brands and all that stuff, but this is just currently not one that I want to support, so I'm kind of considering getting rid of this. Anyways, let's stop talking about that brand. Let's move on to Juvia's Place, which again, I feel like they've got some weird stuff going on right now too. All right, let's just talk about the products themselves, because for these, it's the actual products I'm talking about versus that one really is like the brand, unfortunately. So these two products from Juvia's Place are kind of on my chopping block, like kind of just to like give them a warning, like, hey, you need to step it up. You need to get a little bit more recognized in my collection. But I have the blush palette from them. This one's in the shade Volume 2. And this one specifically is on the chopping block because I just haven't been reaching for it. The tones are very unique, but when I put them on the skin, I'm not sure how I feel about them, like if they're unique in a good way. I feel like also with the eye looks that I create, these just aren't exactly the ones that I'm going for. When I picked this up, I mostly was picking it up for this shade, and I wanted like a warm tone, kind of like almost bronzer shade. I know this one's like really orange, but I kind of have the, well, not kind of, I really have the Patrick Ta blush duo in the shade She's So LA on my wish list. That's kind of like more so what I was wanting, not this. I don't know, I just don't really reach for it a lot. So it's kind of on the chopping block because I'm not using it. This one, on the other hand, I actually really like the tones in this. This is the bronzed palette in the shade Light. It's the lightest one that they have. And I love the undertone of this one in particular, but I have a very sensitive neck. Actually, this sweater even makes my neck itch. My skin on my face is not very sensitive to products luckily, but my neck can be extremely sensitive. And for some reason, I have been noticing that this bronzer is breaking it out more than other bronzers. And with bronzer, that is a product that I typically bring down on my neck. So it's not realistic for me to use a bronzer and not bring it down on my neck, you know? So I'm just gonna kind of pay more attention the next couple of times that I use this and see if it's doing that, because I don't really want to keep it in my collection if it's doing that, because I don't want my neck to be breaking out, you know? So yeah, this one, unfortunately, again, also on the chopping block. I also realized that my Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow, the contour or like the bronzer side is actually pretty similar to this. I love the tone of it, how it's so cool tone, but I don't know. Again, the whole video, chopping block. Let's go and talk about the other Juvia's Place product. This is the Warrior palette, again, from Juvia's Place. I just don't know about this. I actually just posted a picture of this today on Instagram, and I kind of explained like how I'm feeling about this. I feel so like so about it, okay? So I picked this up on Black Friday last year because I've been really eyeing the bronzed palette from Natasha Denona, and that one looks so pretty to me and it's warm tone. However, it's expensive, and I usually really like cool tone eyeshadows and pink eyeshadows, but lately I've been really into warm tone eyeshadows. The first few times that I used this, it creased on me like crazy. So by lunchtime, my eyeshadow was creased. That just like doesn't happen to me. I don't know why. If I wear just cream shadows, yes, it's gonna crease, but even though my eyes are hooded and I do have a pretty pronounced like overlap on my crease, and it kind of makes sense that my eyes would crease, the fact that my eyeshadows typically don't do that, but this one did, tells me that it's something with this formula. And the weird thing is that I have two other palettes from the same brand and they don't do that. So I don't know if it's something with this palette or like if it's mine in general. I don't know. But you guys, I think this palette's so pretty and I really want to like it. So I want to give it some more chances because I really think, let me just show you guys a couple of these shimmer shades. They're really, really nice. And I want to like them, but I am so hesitant to reach for them because of the creasing that happened on my lids. But so I just really want to try and give this another couple of chances and see how I feel about it and kind of go from there. But I would be really sad to see this one go. However, I feel like because of those bad experiences, it's makeup, okay? Like bad experience, negative experience, okay? I'm like less likely to reach for it right now. So I'm just kind of, again, all of these products are on this list to encourage me to use them more and to test them and see how I'm feeling about them. So yeah, chopping block. And I will say though, the last time that I used this, I used my Ulta Beauty eye primer, which I've used with it before, but it did really well at time. So I don't know, I'm gonna keep trying it and see. I'll get back to you. I got a couple lip liners here. You guys know the KKW Beauty Nude lip liners, my favorite. So sad that they're gone. Always wanted to try the mauve ones. Hopefully she'll bring them back and they'll be just as good and I'll try them all. But I picked up these when they were on sale at Ulta sometime last year, maybe Black Friday, maybe not, I don't really know. But I picked up these ones in the shades Pink 1 and Pink 2. And if you weren't aware, KKW Beauty like closed down and they're gonna rebrand and reopen, I guess, under another parent company or something. I'm not really sure, but just the gist of it, they're not available anymore right now, but they're supposed to be coming back. So that's besides the point. Anyways, I have these two lip liners and they're just very pink and I just don't ever use them. So the one in Pink 1 is actually kind of similar to the shade Flamingo from Persona, which I use a lot, but it's a liquid lipstick, so I don't really need a lip liner with it, I feel like. And then this other one in Pink 2, I just feel like I never use. So that's that. It's also a very like interesting tone. I don't know why I swatched them again. I had them right here. But yeah, I just don't ever use them. So they're definitely on the chopping block because they're just like not utilized in my collection. Last up, I'm going to talk about these together. So this is the NYX Shimmer Down Pigment. It's in the shade Walnut. And then the NYX Multitasker Mixing Medium. I have a critique about myself that I do all the time. So I'm going to share it with you guys. That is, I buy the same shade over and over and over again. And I'm not talking about like a foundation shade that you have to buy the same one over and over again. I'm talking about like an eyeshadow shade or a lipstick shade or a blush shade or a bronzer. You get the point? I do the same thing all of the time, and I'm really trying to break that habit. So this like single shadow type thing, I'm so likely to purchase this sort of like taupey sort of color. Let me just grab a couple products from my collection. I basically already owned this exact shade at least twice, but when I tell you that I could probably find it 3 more times in my collection, I'm not kidding with you. So the other single that I have, like the only other single that's in my collection, is the Essence Melted Chrome Eyeshadow in the shade Ironic, which I learned yesterday was discontinued. What a shame. I'm very, very disappointed. Essence, please bring these back. I literally was looking it up for 2 reasons. 1, to get the price to put in my Instagram post about it, and number 2, to see what other colors they had. Add them to my wish list. Nope, they're not there. Anyways, that's besides the point. So if you wanted this one, then the NYX one is a great option. But yeah, they're like the exact same. So here's the NYX one, and here's the Essence one. Now, the one thing is that they're different consistencies. So the e.l.f. one, or the Essence one, is like one of those bouncy sort of creamy shadows that's going to be a little bit more like wet looking, whereas the NYX one is going to be a little bit more sparkly. But these look like the same. Like, look at them from a little bit farther away. They're going to look the exact same on the eye. But what I really noticed is that this shade called Seductive from the Persona Identity palette is literally the same. Again, it's a different consistency. It's a, you know, like more standard like pressed pigment, pressed eyeshadow. These all look the same on the eyelid. The sad thing is I was looking at another single shadow recently and I looked at the exact same color. Why do I do that? I don't know. This is just like my go-to kind of shade apparently, but I'm telling you guys, they all look the exact same on the lid. And honestly, the 2 on the outer corners, they're kind of like prettier, but this is just like a dry swatch anyways. But they really do, like I promise you guys, they look the same. The other product that's kind of like I put them together is because this is a mixing medium which you can use with a liquid, or which you can use. The reason I put this mixing medium in kind of like together on this is because this is what I use with this powder, and I don't really know that the mixing medium is that good. So yeah, I have had better luck mixing this loose pigment in with, or just like spraying it and then mixing it like that with a setting spray or something. I don't really like it mixed in with this. So that's just, I don't know. I feel like it's just not very useful for me. I know these videos are a little bit more negative, but I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing the products that aren't working for me right now. I'm going to keep you posted on whether or not I decide to declutter them, so stay tuned for that. If you did enjoy today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. I'm going to be posting a lot more in the coming up weeks and probably months, but we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. So I really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much if you decide to do that. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.